Hey, good Monday afternoon, evening to you. I don't know. Maybe it's late at night where you are. Maybe it's early in the morning. Maybe it's mid afternoon. But whatever you do and wherever you go, welcome to the show. It is good to see you. It is good to be seen by you. I, of course, am Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live, loud and clear on a Monday evening. And I hope you are feeling great today. It's not the end of the weekend. It is the start of the countdown to another weekend, and we have got some classic TTRPG goodness for you tonight. But I want to warn you guys. I'm going to warn you. There is a way you can get on the inside track and find out when we do all of these live streams and the interstitial videos, the newsy stuff that comes up that affects you and me at the tabletop. The easiest way to do that is to click the subscribe button and click the bell icon for notifications. What does that do? That subscribes you and it lets you know when we do all of our fun stuff here, because guys, I can't stop. I won't stop. It's 5 nights a week of TTRPG mayhem. We do let's plays, we do interviews with awesome people, we do deep dives into classic TTRPG products and some RPG products that just appeal to our classic sensibilities. So welcome everybody. Welcome. Do that and you've got a great time in front of you. So it's Monday. We had a great week last week, but that's in the past. You can go watch those shows if you want to, but I won't respond to you in the live chats over there. I can't. I am forbidden. But anyway, so this week ahead, we have got a heck of a week. Let me tell you what's coming up this week. Tomorrow night, I'm risking Osborne affecting myself here. Okay, that is telling you guys about something that's awesome that's coming up, and then you're gonna go, well, I'll just leave and wait for the awesome thing, and then I got nobody here. But trust me, we got awesome tonight too. But tomorrow night, we are going to be live playing first edition advanced Dungeons and Dragons. That's right. I got a group of players. I got some people who like to play first edition AD&D, and we're going to play it, and you can hang out with us while we do it. Now, maybe you're thinking to yourself, maybe you're just sitting back going, well, so what? So what? What are you just trying to grab that brass ring thing that Critical Role does? And the answer is not really. Not really. I want you guys... I would very much like it if you guys would tune in, because what you need to know about our games is, guys, we don't have script writing sessions. We don't do table reads. We don't have story arcs. We don't have plots. We play first edition AD&D, and the dice decide what's going to happen. Not some pre-planned thing where we try and shoehorn in a contrived character arc. We're actually playing AD&D. Maybe that means I never get a cartoon deal with Amazon, but so be it. And here's the bonus. Here is the prize in the box of cereal. What you get for destroying the roof of your mouth with a box of Captain Delve or Delver Crunch. I think Delver Crunch works better. What that does is, while you're out there watching, I don't want you to view this as some passive experience where you just kind of sit there, stare at your monitor, your phone, your tablet, your laptop, or indeed your television and go, oh, okay, they're playing D&D. Here's the thing. Maybe you have never played first edition AD&D and you want to know how it works. Maybe you played a long time ago and you're trying to dust off those memories so you can start playing again. Maybe you're playing right now and you're just a little curious about how we do things here. Folks, I'm here to tell you something. I want you to put in the live chat your questions about the game. I want you to ask. If you have a question about the game, about its playing, what level is Durek Donagard? Why is he able to turn undead? How come you're not showing the dice to your thief? Or what, why is your thief character not rolling the dice? Why are you using a D6 for both sides for initiative and not a D20 and everybody rolls for themselves? All those questions and more, I will answer for you. Now, maybe you ask a question and I miss it because the screen gets a rolling. Okay. Ask it again. But if I do miss your question just by not knowing it or being in such a rush, somebody in the group, somebody playing D&D may go, oh, hey, Bill, Cyrus Wright has got a question for you. And maybe I don't know the answer to Cyrus's question. Let me let you in on a little secret, a not so well-kept secret. This has kind of gotten out there. So I've kind of had to safeguard identities. I have the best looking and the smartest audience of all of the 5-night-a-week classic TTRPG live stream shows that stream on YouTube and, of course, over on X, formerly known as Twitter. And I will kill on that hill. I'm not dying on any hills. I will kill on that hill. Best looking and smartest. So somebody in the audience might know the answer to your question, and they'll answer it before I can. I've seen it happen before. And there's already questions. Let's see. Is it in 1-to-1 time? No. Our first edition AD&D game that we play here on Tuesdays is not in 1-to-1 time. I have implemented it before when a week has passed of uneventful travel for the party. Last week, the party was X. Now they're Y. Because I rolled any possible encounters in the in-between. And none came up. Not Jericho. Whoa, sandworms. You hate them. I hate them myself. We got that in common. Thoughts on Thaco? 2-hit armor class 0 in first edition AD&D is only notional for monsters in the Dungeon Master's Guide. It is not given to players. I have a chart. I have charts on the back of the Dungeon Master screen. One glance at a chart, and I know. He needs a 13 to hit. They have Bless Enchant going on. He needs an 11 to hit. That Bless Enchant is lessening the monster's opportunity to hit. They need a 15 or better to hit. I just look, and there it goes. Which do I think would make a better villain overall? A Mummy Lord, a Lich, or a Death Knight? It depends on the level, but it sounds like you're leaning very strongly towards high end. I'm a classics guy. Go with a Lich. Go with a Lich. You can't go wrong, and the party can't go right. Damien X247, hello. So let me just make sure I didn't miss any. Yeah, AJ Bollinger, we play the game. It's crazy. It's madness. Thank you, Danny H, for swinging by. Your guess is I don't. No, I do. I do. It's a lot of numbers. I do need to look at the chart, but I vastly prefer the chart to, let's do armor class and then add, and then I got to subtract. I can just look at the chart. If I was ever going to get a tattoo, it would be like the 4 core class charts down my forearm. Hey, it's some wicked ink. What do you got? 2-hit tables. Monster tables over here. You know, maybe get the saving throw chart on my thigh. What did I think? I get that question a lot, not your echo. What did I think of it? I mean, it was a kid's show. I thought it was well animated. I thought it was well voiced. It was fettered by 80s practice and standards and FCC standards constraints. So we didn't get the AD&D cartoon we might have. It raised awareness of AD&D, so that's a good thing. Well, wonderful Wizard of Games. I hope you'll tune in, and I hope you will. I hope you will be impressed with how we do it. Thaco across my forehead would be great. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not doing that. Yeah, and AJ Bollinger, you're right. It did land right in the middle of the Satanic Panic. So, um, and I gotta tell you about the Satanic Panic. I used to labor under the embarrassment that the Satanic Panic was like a strictly Southern Baptist thing. It was everywhere. It was everywhere. There were parents groups from here to Washington State, down to Los Angeles, all the way back over to Maine, and everywhere in between those four rough quadrants, who were caught up in that silly nonsense. It was, and it was largely ginned up by the media. A few noisy evangelicals started screeching about it, and then you had Sally Jesse Raphael, and then you had 60 Minutes, which is, of course, a garbage production, a garbage show. So, as somebody had mentioned, by the way, the Space Hulk setup up here, yeah, that's my 2E box. Sometimes I rearrange this and I put the 4E or the 3E box in front of it. I have second, third, and fourth edition rules and setups, but I only have the boxes for second and third edition. I wish I had a first edition. I wish I had a first edition box. No, I can believe it, Danny. I can absolutely believe it. I've got a video coming. I've got what I think is going to be a pretty landmark video about some moral panics in D&D, but that's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm really going to say. Guys, I want to show off something. So let me, I touched on this a little bit last week, and I've, thank you, Dice Tales. I want to, I want to get into this. This is kind of what I've been really excited about today. Any deep dives on the horizon? Yes, Danny H. But they're a surprise, but they're coming. Let's just say it involves an internal organ. I'll let you guys ponder what that is. Thank you, AJ. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like the setup. I want to point out before I get into what I was going to, this is not a set. I know you didn't say that. Trust me, I'm not calling you out, AJ. This is not a set. I come back here and grab this stuff and game with it, or play like these video games. I actually discovered by accident they're at the perfect height. So Mrs. the Dungeon Delver has sometimes come in here and just seen me like standing there quietly, very softly grunting as I play the two mini arcade cabs up there. These are my art books. I've got Matt Rhodes. By the way, follow Matt Rhodes on Twitter and read his Tellurion post. It is the most heartbreaking, achingly beautiful sci-fi fantasy story. No spoilers. I have the book of Tellurion, and you should get a copy too. But yeah, I've got Vallejo, I've got Rhodes, I've got Regis Malone. I've got some pieces over here by some books over here by Regis Malone that he did gorgeous custom art inlays. I've got Masamune Shiro. I've got Frazetta. I've got Hajime Soriyama. I have a lovely art book collection over here that I love. And then I've got I've got this Robotech Tactics box that a friend gave me. I barely ever look in this thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. My mini arcades, books back here. There's the Swords and Wizardry wood grain set that Frog God released ages ago, and then my go-to gaming library. This is all AD&D up here. This is all D&D related here. Hero Quest. I've got. I don't have any Hildebrandt books, Cyrus, although I do take donations here on the show. And then it's floor to ceiling RPG stuff in this corner. Dakalus, the Vorpal swords are not. The Vorpal bunnies are. Michael Connor, hail to you. So anyway, yeah, all of this stuff is used. And one of my favorite pieces, because he doesn't have an art book out yet, Tracy, if you're listening or watching, is this painting by Tracy Lesh. It's not the original. It's not the original. But this painting here was slated to have been the first piece of color artwork for a D&D book. It did not get used. I never played Rifts, AJ. I have never played Rifts. That was never my bag, baby. All right, so let's talk about what I really, really wanted to talk about today. Over the past few months, I have been slowly attempting to learn a programming language. I say slowly because my 55-year-old brain does not easily absorb information. New neural pathways are not written in the older person's brain as easily as they are in younger person's. If I had done this when I was 12, I would already be finished with it. The easiest one that I have found, the most basic like one, outside of just grabbing like Eagle Basic, is Python. And it is very freaking hard, but it is kind of the all-in-one place programming language. I don't like it, but it is the one that I chose. Over the course of many years, I have said to myself, golly, I sure would like it if the Dungeon Master's Assistant Volume 1 and Volume 2 were a little bit easier to run in a modern Windows system. Now, let me tell you about these things. They were so 16-bit compliant that you could open a command prompt in any 32-bit Windows and run them, and they would work just fine. But I use 64-bit Windows now. Plus, there's a lot of modern conveniences, like being able to cut and paste data, that they don't and will never do. It's not like I can call up somebody at SSI and ask when the next update's coming. Entering your own monsters into the monster catalog is, if you don't have the manual, and odds are you don't, it's next to impossible. So, over the years, I have attempted in BASIC and in Visual Basic to recreate the first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Master's Assistants from SSI, Volumes 1 and Volumes 2, but better and for a modern system. There were some abortive tries in Visual Basic, as I said. I did a few simple applets in Eagle Basic that I still use. They're very nice. But I sat down and I said, damn it, I'm going to attempt to learn a language. And so one thing I will tell you, and if this makes you unsubscribe, run for the hills, and never want to talk to me again, I understand. Cyrus, I don't know if it does. I hope it does. I hope you can compile Python. Is generative AI is very helpful nowadays if you want to learn a programming language. If you want to learn a programming language, ask ChatGPT or ask Grok. And they'll teach you. They'll bug fix your stuff. Sometimes they'll break your stuff. Believe me, I've found that out. But last week, I sat down, I cracked my knuckles, and I said, here we go. And I started with a very simple abilities generator, 3D6 down the line. And it just adding stuff on, asking questions, adding more stuff on, asking more questions, adding more stuff on, and on and on and on. Now, let me tell you, I don't consider myself a programmer. Basic, yes. You want some basic written? When I was a kid, I used to dream in basic. I used to go to bed wondering how to solve a problem for the games that I would write in basic, little text-based games on my Commodore 64. And I would dream the solutions, and I'd get up and I'd try them. So I don't consider myself a programmer. I am muddling through this, but I started muddling seriously mid last week. By late Thursday, I was convinced that the program was bulletproof. That was version 13. Version 13, some revision. Take care, Dungeon Minister. Thank you for stopping by. So I said that's it. It works. Except for this. And then I would change, and then something would break, and I'd fix it, and then I'd add something else, and it would break, and I'd fix it all weekend long. And with the help of some awesome, awesome people who stepped up and were hammering on this thing. Yeah, QBasic was great. QBasic was great. So I have been working on this project now for about a week, about 8 hours a day, give or take, a little less, probably. Breaking things. And my code has gotten so big, I can't show it to ChatGPT or to Grok. They crash. It's 3,000 lines. It's like 150, 160 kilobytes. And when I say, hey, can you look at my code and see if you can find X? Sure, send it to me. Bet. There was a problem generating a response. Please try later. By the way, I found out. So I just want to pump the brakes. I just want to pump the brakes a second. The programming language Forth, you use it every day. If you use a desktop PC, you are touched by Forth every day. Forth is the language that most PCI cards in your PC, even if you only have one, that plugs in, you still have PCI devices on the motherboard. Forth tells the computer, there's a little program that runs in Forth that says, hi, I'm an RTX 3050. I have this many megabytes of RAM. I'm located at this address. And the PC says, thank you, young man, and then goes on booting. When I was a kid, I always thought Forth was a very propeller head programming language. Forth, there were actually commercial video games written in Forth. Adventure Construction Set by Electronic Arts, written in Forth. There was an adventure game written by Thomas M. Dish that was written in Forth, and there was one other big game. Oh, Starflight by Interstel, which is an incredible game, was written in Forth. What language do they use to write new program? New program languages are so high level now that they'll start writing a new language in C, like Visual C. Like, I want to write this programming language. I'm going to start with Visual C. So there's like so many layers of separation. I mean, it should be assembly. Like, you should write x86 or Apple Silicon or well, Apple's not going to let you do anything with their products, which I'm actually going to get to. Brad, I'm using MS Small Basic for Little DM Helper program. Simple. I don't need a GUI. Brad, that's fantastic. Awesome, buddy. Wizardry was written in Pascal. Yeah. It was a wild west of languages back then. Nowadays, nobody writes a game. They just use Unreal Engine, which is sad. They just use scripts in a 3D modeling engine. But I digress. I'm sorry. I've wandered way off the track. I and now 3 people who are helping me out with this beat our heads against this all weekend. Let me show you where we've gotten. And before I do this, I just want to say what I'm about to show you is, I would say, 99% functional. It's not ready for prime time, and you'll see why. It is 99% functional and 100% first edition AD&D compliant. So, without further ado, so this is AD&D character generation. The interface right now is all text. You might notice that method 5 is manual entry. I have not put any Unearthed Arcana in this, and I probably won't. Cyrus, I hope to write a GUI. I hope to get a GUI for this. So here's the stat generation, and it's per the Dungeon Master's Guide. 46, drop lowest, arrange to taste. 3d6 12 time, keep the highest 6. Roll 3d6 6 times for each stat, keep the highest for each, which is the fastest, by the way. Or 4, of course, is 3d6 for 12 sets, and choose the best. For brevity's sake, we're going to do 3. We're going to do method 3. Arrange to taste just means, like, if you get like 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, and you want to make a killer cleric, you'll put the 18 in your wisdom. And you want to make sure he's pretty quick on his feet, you'll put the 17 in the dex. You literally just arrange in the order that you want. So let's go ahead and make a character. I'm going to walk you guys through the interface. So here we go. After I make this one, I'm going to make a couple more using the other methods just to show you. And, well, I'm going to make 3 more using the other methods. And then I'm going to deliberately break it. All right, so here we go. 3. So we have 12, 16, 14, 17, 17, 15. To give the most character options, and let me ask you, can you guys read that okay? Is that readable on the screen, whether your TV, computer, laptop, tablet? I'm guessing phone, it's probably right out, but most people who take the show in on the phone don't watch me anyway. They just listen. So we're going to take half elf because that is going to give us the most character options. Now, obviously, with this set of stats, I don't think we're going to get Ranger as an option, and we're clearly not going to get Paladin or Monk as an option, but this is going to open up a lot of other options. So let's do half elf. Oops, I said half elf. All right, so choose your gender, and let's see. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to slide this up a little bit because my banner down below will kind of block stuff. We will block you. All right, so male or female, and we're just going to go ahead and we'll do female. Now, here are our class options. So we have cleric, druid, fighter, magic user, thief, assassin. But we also have multi-classes: cleric, fighter, magic user, cleric, magic user, fighter, thief, magic user, thief, and fighter, magic user, thief. Now, one thing I do want to stop you is if you guys see a bug here, trust me, I see a dozen bugs here. So if there's something that shouldn't be here or something that looks wonky, feel free to tell me in the chat, because that may be the 13th one. So because I want you guys to see this fully unbound at first, let's do cleric, fighter, magic user. Any questions so far? Any questions out there so far? If you have a question, please pipe up. Please let me know. I would love to hear from you. So let's do, what did I say? Cleric, fighter, magic user. So 8. Is there a GitHub repo you can submit to? AJ, no. There is not. You can follow me over on Twitter. I'm at @A_Dungeon Delver, or if you're a member of our Discord, you can ping me over there. This does not do that, Death Angels. Again, this is strictly first edition AD&D. And that brings up something before we get further into the character gen. I did want to mention a lot of people, by which I mean at least 3, have said, wait a minute, does that work? No, that doesn't work like that, because my DM back in 8th grade assured me in 1984 that this is the way this worked. And then I'm like, pointing at the rule book. So you might have a little bit of house rule-itis going on in your mind. You might be gaslighting yourself. This adheres to the Dungeon Master's Guide. The only, and the Player's Handbook, the only time I used outside sources was if there was something in the book that wasn't clear, but I could find in Polyhedron or Dragon Magazine an answer from Gary about the rules clarification. Well, we're about to see that wonderful Wizarding Games. Am I going to make it into a Discord bot? Possibly. All right, so here we go. We have a cleric, fighter, magic user. Enter level for cleric. Let's make this the highest level character we can generate. So cleric, 6th level fighter, and 6th level magic user. Now, 9 proficiencies left to select. With a multi-classed character, all of the proficiencies are added together. Zachary Melvin, I'll let you know about that. That's a little bit down the road. So this section here is now proficiency browsing. We're not buying anything. We're picking proficiencies. So let's go to melee weapons. As a fighter, magic user, cleric, everything is open to us. Just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to select 9. I'm not going to select 9 out of here. I'm going to do like 4 out of here. I'm just going to do some out of each so you guys can see each one. So let's do Battle Axe. Now, one thing I'm considering fixing is it kicks you back out to the menu after you select one proficiency, and then you have to go back in. But it does say, if you guys will note, you have 8 proficiencies left to select. So let's go back into melee. And how about a 2-handed sword? That's always a good proficiency. Look at that damage. 1 to 10, 3 to 18. Let's go back into melee and pick one more melee weapon. He's got cleric levels. How about a Morning Star? So there we go. Now let's go to pole arms. And all of the classic AD&D pole arms are here, except the halberd. I need to put that into the library, except the halberd. At least I think I do. See, that's one of those things that's a little hazy for me. So we have some pole arms to buy. How about the bardiche? That's a tough weapon there. Let's bardiche. And let's go back into pole arms. And let's do the spetum, which I really should have as 2 to 7, not 1 to 6 plus 1. So let's take proficiency in spetum. We have 4 left. Now let's go into ranged. Any questions so far? Guys, if you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. This is a half elf. Not taking bows would be a crime. So let's take a composite longbow. We have 3 proficiencies left to select. We have ranged. So let's go back into ranged. And let's do darts, because we got a magic user action going on here. And last but not least, we have sticks. Lady in the morning. Wrong sticks. Sorry. Let's do a joe stick and a quarterstaff. 2. And sticks, in answer to your question, Wonderful Wizard of Games, is, if you look on the screen, bow stick, joe stick, and quarterstaff, which, so we took a joe stick. We have 1 proficiency left. It's going to be the quarterstaff. So there we go. Now we have adventuring gear to buy. We have 250 gold because when you multi-class from the Sorcerer's Scroll, you get every multi-class class's money to start with. AJ, I'm not going to lie to you. I almost quit several times. So let's go ahead and let's do weapons and armor first. That's most important. So let's go to armor. And you can see we have banded mail, chain mail, leather armor, padded armor, plate, which nobody can afford, scale, shield, splint, studded leather. Let's do banded. That's going to be the best armor. Although splint still gives us AC 4, and it's a little cheaper. Let's do splint. Hey, Bingo Man Zero, good to see you. And let's also get a shield. And that's all the armor we're going to buy. Okay, so we still got 160. Let's go buy some weapons. And boy, do we have a bunch of weapons to buy. Melee, polearms, ranged, and sticks. Let's start with sticks and just get that out of the way. Quarterstaff and a Joe stick. And then we're done shopping. And now we're back out here. Let's go to pole arms. And again, here we are. We're going to pick up a bardiche and a spetum. And we're done with pole arms. And let's look at ranged. We've got that composite longbow. And we need arrows. And we need darts. So we're going to pick up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 darts. Yes, we are Bingo Man Zero. So we're done in there. And last but not least, we still have 43 gold pieces. Let's go into melee. Let's see. Let's just for now get a two-handed sword. And I think that's good for melee. So we have 13 gold pieces left. Let's go back out to main categories. Now, you might notice main categories is missing a couple of things. It's missing transportation and it's missing foods. That is yet to do. But let's go into adventuring gear and get some stuff. And you'll notice that scrolls it right off the screen. When I do this in the Python development console, it doesn't. But I can assure you, if we scroll up a little bit, you guys can see there's backpack, large bag, small bag, candle, and so on. I know what those are, so I just can, like, by reflex go, let's buy 1, 2, 3. Retainers and such will be in the Dungeon Master's Guide. A 10-foot pole, of course. Let's see. Now, one thing I want to point out. Note here that Silver Dagger is just an adventuring gear. The reason Silver Dagger is just an adventuring gear is I could not figure out how to make my own program stop making Silver Dagger its own weapon proficiency. I told you guys I'm not a programmer. So I just put Silver Dagger in adventuring gear. Let's buy a hammer. Let's buy iron spikes. Robert Phillips psionics is something I'm thinking about. Let's get some oil. Let's get a week's standard rations. Let's get 6 torches. Ooh, we need a flint and steel. And I think we're done. So we're done shopping now. Yeah, Silver Dagger, it's proof versus lycanthropes. All right, I'm rather fond of lawful good, so let's take a look at lawful good. Let's pick lawful good alignment. Name for your character. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. New char. Now, there's 3 output methods: text file, HTML, and JSON. The reason there's a JSON output is one of the features that I want to add to this is the ability to come back in and edit. That's right. There hasn't been any inflation since 81, since 77. If you want to count when it started coming out. But let's say this is HTML because I want you guys to be able to see this. So let's do HTML. Default file name. And there we go. So the character is saved. Big damn deal, right? So I got a character saved. So what? Let's go over into the folder where I've got this. And open this in a browser and then share this browser with you guys. And here you go. Here we are. New character. Female half-elf, fighter magic user 566. Level title, Prefect, Myrmidon, Magician, Lawful Good. Here are the characteristics. Hit points, saving throws. Armor class is 0. As if you note, we've got that 17 dex. Base armor class of 10, splint mail 4, shield is -1, dexterity adjustment from -3. Total armor class 0. Weapons proficiencies, battle axe, two-handed sword, morningstar, bardiche, speedum, bow, composite, long, dart, joystick, quarterstaff. None of these weapons none of the weapons have a non-proficiency penalty on them. Encumbrance. Carrying 149 pounds of gear. Encumbered. Adjusted movement 3 inches. Equipment weight 148.7. So racial advantages: 60 feet of infravision, 30% resistant to sleep and charm, detect secret doors, 1 in 6 when passing, 2 in 6 when searching. Has a languages subsection, spell slots, and it will auto-generate a spell book for higher than first level characters. And here's our list of items at the end. Now, that took a little bit longer than I thought it would. So we're going to make one that deliberately breaks. I'm going to break this on purpose. So let's start it up again. So here, you know what? I'm going to break it. By the way, Control C will end this program so far. So let's CLS. Okay, so let's just do method 3 again. And I will show you guys a break that I know I have. Is we're just going to do a dwarf. We're just going to do male, fighter, first level. We're not going to get proficiencies because, again, I'm just trying to show you guys it break. Just to let you know, I know that there are things that are broken. Let's shop for armor. This is a very specific bug. Let's buy a shield. We're done shopping. We've only bought a shield. Done shopping. Lawful good. Break. And you can see that it broke. The reason it breaks, as far as I can tell, the reason that it breaks is a shield does not have a value of AC. If I give it the value of -1, then all you have to do is buy a shield, and then, hey, presto, your armor class is -1. In the code, the armor class adjustment system reduces your overall armor class by 1. It has a variable called shield AC. That breaks it because It's going looking for AC, and it finds shield AC if all you do is purchase a shield. If you buy leather and shield, chain and shield, scale and shield, plate and shield, whatever and shield, this won't happen. But if the only armor your character buys is shield, it'll break right here. So that is that is a known bug. That's a known bug. You guys want to see some non-alphanumeric is screened for, and it will caution you on that. I think I've gotten that. So let's put in H. Invalid input, please enter a number. There you go. What if I do that? Same thing. Fun tip for anyone who needs a wizard magic username: check your medicine cabinet for inspiration. Play-Doh wizard name. Chlorotrimeton. I love it. I love it. Have you met my monk, Ben Adril? So there you guys go. That's it. What do you think? Yeah, I have a fix for shields in the works. In case you guys are wondering about that shield bug, I have a fix for it in the works. So you can just buy a shield if you're just like, I just want robes, a dagger, and a shield. That's how I want to go out, man. Okay. Okay. But one thing I wanted to show you guys is that this is inelegance in Triumph here. Let me do this again. If you'll note here, wisdom, a 14 wisdom gives 1 bonus first level, or 2 bonus first level and 1 bonus second level. I could not make that work for the life of me. I could not make it stack everything together. I kept getting bugs, and it was driving me crazy. And then I realized I could just go from wisdom 13 to wisdom 18 and literally just put that in a text string. I literally just beat it over the head and made it display that all the bonus spells, because it would supersede. It would say, oh, okay, so you're wisdom 14. You have 1 bonus second level spell. It wouldn't pull in the others. So I just changed the text screen. Text screen. And of course it is reflected. Where is it? In cleric spells. It's got they're properly reflected here. Ivermectin. So that's it so far, guys. That is the program. It is a work in progress. I do not have a release date set for it. I'm not going to set a release date. I'm not going to tell you guys, oh, it's going to be ready here and then. A couple of the people who are helping me with it literally just showed me how to not have to use Notepad to write my code. They're like, you can use VS Code. It's free from Microsoft. It's like a whole IDE. You don't have to do this in Notepad. and it's got a Python plugin. You can run Python and it'll debug it and everything. I was like, no, I didn't know that. I thought I just ran I thought I just edited things and then copied and pasted where I needed to. So believe me, I have been on a roller coaster of development for this for the last little while, and I am here. That's where I'm at, guys. As the it really is TXG. You're absolutely right. As it progresses, And as I get, like when I fix the shield bug, there's so much I want to do. There's so much, like I want to have like columns across the screen for inventory purchasing rather than it just being all scrolled up one side and then you got to scroll up and down. Because I'm still going to add foodstuffs and transportation into the stuff your character can buy list. Because one of y'all MFers is going to want to buy a live chicken. I know you are. Don't sit there and say you're not going to buy a goat or you're not going to buy a live chicken or you're not going to buy an ox. You are, and you know you are. Yes, it does, Cyrus. It does very much. Yes, Wonderful Wizard of Games. It literally just says magic user cleric or magic user or cleric illusionist. I don't think there's a cleric illusionist, but you know, it will just give you your spell list. I love the spell book generation it does. I think that is boss. I mean, I suppose I could set it to where the users would pick, but I if you're making a fifth level character, I think it's a little bit better. Um, Now, one thing, yeah, gonna have that one player. Um, but yeah, one thing I want to do is have the user interface a little bit nicer, where it's like clearing the screen periodically. Like when you edit out of stores, it like whacks it back up. And it does like a column system, arranges your it's like 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 20 to 30, and then 99 to quit or something like that. So I want to do stuff like that. One of the biggest things that I do intend to do with this is the ability to basically, regardless of whether you save text or HTML, I want it to save the JSON file and permit you to reload it. I want it to track experience points. And so if you start out with a first level character in this and you play them in your game, I say you, if one starts using this in a game and let's say you get 2,000 experience points, pop this open in a D&D character generator and add that. And maybe get a little notification on your character sheet, character may now level. And then it won't let you add more XP if that would push you past the point where you have to level before you can add more XP. Another thing that I want to do is, so basically before I go on to that next feature, is just a global restart function. Or not a global restart function, but you get to the end, and after you can save your character, you tell it, hey, here I go. I want to go back and do another one. So what do y'all think? What do y'all think? What do you think of it so far? Is it like, has this been a worthy use of my time? I hope you think so. Once it's done, once the character gen is locked in and it does everything I want it to do, assuming it won't kill me to try and create a GUI for it, I suppose I would do that. But the next big leap, I've gotten into orbit now. I'm in a pretty steady orbit. The next planet that I want to explore, I want to leave orbit and go to another planet. The next planet I want to go to is Planet Dungeon Master's Guide. There are so many subsystems in the Dungeon Master's Guide I want to write a global automator for. Dungeon encounters, random party encounter. Stat out a hex for me. It's like, okay, it's a clear hex, push button. You're going to travel across it. 6 checks because it's planes. Oh, look, here's an encounter. Boom, boom. Just stuff like that. And then once you say, oh, okay, well, it's 159 orcs, there's 159 orcs. Statted out. Chieftains, sergeants, captains, this much treasure, this XP value for them. I don't know, TXG. I don't know about the whole open source thing. I don't know anything about the publishing of it, what it'll be like. But that's a good question, Wonderful Wizard of Games. I want that to be a feature of the Dungeon Master's Assistant. This whole thing is Dungeon Master's Assistant. When I get into the serious DMG stuff, I want push button, create opposing party. And it will probably have to leverage everything I've taught myself to do here. Everything I've asked ChatGPT to help me with here. And Grok to help me with here. And my friends to help me with. Are you thinking of what's up or what's happening? What's happening had J.J. Walker dynamite, didn't it? Anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. We have a great week ahead of us. We're going to be playing first edition AD&D tomorrow night. We're going to... I have to find out from Kyle what's going on Wednesday night, but I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you guys apprised of that. Thursday night, we may have a guest. I know Wednesday and Thursday are kind of vague, but I'll let you guys know when I know about Wednesday and Thursday night. Friday night, we're going to be playing Gamma World. I'll tell you this, though. I will find something we can deep dive and we can have fun in digging into on Wednesday and Thursday. If we don't have a co-host day or guest day, I will find us something cool to do. Friday night is Gamma World. Come get it radiated in Gamma World on Friday night. Pleasure orbs for everyone. Anyway, guys, that about finishes it up for me tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. And I will let you guys know. Feel free to ask questions. Reach out to me on Discord or on Twitter. I'm at @A_Dungeon Delver. You can find me there. If you have questions, please feel free to ask. We're going to be talking more about the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention soon-ish. But I will let you guys know the closer we get to that happening. Until then, before any of you guys ask, yes, this will include the chance to randomly encounter an owl bear. So you better watch out for that revision. Peace. Good night. I love you all.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere, in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around, some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks to